Chicago PD is finally giving Voight the story he deserves after hinting at it throughout this last season. Chicago PD Season 12 started strong by focusing on Voight in the aftermath of the Season 11 finale, which saw Voight getting kidnapped by serial killer Frank Matson. This experience pushed Voight into his work even further, highlighting his motivation and passion for justice, something that is finally coming up again after the Chicago PD mid-season break. Since the beginning of Chicago PD Season 12, the show has teased the moral compass of Charlie Reed, the new deputy chief of the Chicago Police Department. As Chicago PD is one of several shows in the One Chicago franchise, having suspicious characters is not new to the series. However, having suspicious colleagues is less common, and recent episodes have cemented the belief that Reed is dirty, something that Voight has found out too. With no Chicago PD Season 13 announcement yet, Voight will have to solve his Reed problem soon, and I am excited to watch him do it. Voight and Reed's complicated situation in Chicago PD explained. The pair started off as adversaries from the start. Reed first appears in Chicago PD Season 12, Episode 1, 1099, and has appeared on and off since then. Despite his major role in the series, Reed starts as a side character before his storyline starts to slowly ramp up as the new Chicago PD Season 12 villain. When he first appears in the premiere, the timing of his arrival is suspicious. He introduces himself to Voight and his team at a crime scene. However, his arrival is too quick, and his introduction is too friendly. Voight feels like something is off about Reed. Reed's introduction also follows an intense mental breakdown for Voight. Following his abduction by Matson and his hallucination of Ul revealing that it is not Voight's time to die yet, Voight has been using work as a way to ignore his overwhelming stress. With Voight's mental health in the balance, he knows he is close to crossing a line, and Reed's introduction is just what Voight does not need. That and the fact that Voight literally has blood on his hands when he meets Reed is a clever foreshadowing of their relationship. Later, as Reed becomes a larger character, he somehow learns about Torres' relationship with his CI and the fact that Voight and his team covered for him. Rather than punish Voight's intelligence unit for crossing boundaries, Reed uses this information as blackmail. Now that he has Voight under his control, he can call in any favors he wants. While Reed's corruption is for the self-proclaimed greater good, he is a strong adversary to Voight, and that is enough for Voight to want to take him down. Chicago PD has forgotten Voight's ability to play politics. Voight knows when to wait. Jason Burr as Voight in Chicago PD standing outside and wearing a scarf. Voight does not back down from a fight, but he also does not show his cards too soon. Before the current Voight and Reed storyline, Chicago PD had forgotten Voight's ability to wait for the right moment. They have started to show this with Voight's collaboration with Chapman, but Season 12 has yet to flesh out Voight's brilliance, and that is a good thing. Voight's fight with Reed is a slow-burn storyline, and it is probably the best way the show can emphasize the stakes of the fight. With other Chicago PD villains, Voight has been known to go for the throat, but he cannot do that this time. He needs to be slow and calculated, and the anticipation for the moment he and Reed finally have a stand-down is almost too much. Voight gets a credible foe in Chicago PD that actually has stakes. Reed isn't a regular villain. The thing about Reed is that he is not like one of Voight's usual adversaries, like gang leaders or mob bosses. Instead, Reed is Voight's boss. He is also not entirely evil. He is most definitely corrupt, but so are most officers in the Chicago PD universe. However, Reed made a mistake. He thought he could use Voight as a means to achieve his plans, and he does not mind hurting a few innocent people while he is at it, as long as it measures out in the end. Reed's status also means that he is above Voight. As scary as this may seem for the intelligence unit, Voight's best Chicago PD stories actually happen when he has to punch up. These stories show his skills off the best. Voight plays smart and knows how to handle himself. Reed and Voight's storyline might just be Voight's best one yet because it is also Voight's most complex one. Voight's fight with Reed is also different from his usual fights because of how similar the two characters are. Even Reed noticed this, as in Chicago PD Season 12, Episode 15, Reed tells Voight, "You and me? We are exactly the same." Both characters are smart, meticulous, and careful, and they care about their city. They have different ways of showing it, but in the end, both Voight and Reed think their way is the right way. That is part of what makes Voight's standoff with Reed so difficult. Voight is practically fighting a version of himself. How Voight can take down Reed in Chicago PD. Fortunately, time is on Voight's side. Reed talking to Voight on a sidewalk in Chicago PD Season 12. In Chicago Fire Season 12, Episode 15, Voight goes to Chapman for help. He reveals that Reed has dirt on him, but that Voight wants to take him down, as his corruption has no place in Chicago. Voight and Chapman's alliance might be one of the best ways that Voight can bring down Reed. As Chapman holds power as an assistant state's attorney, the two can work together to find weaknesses in Reed's network. The two of them also care about protecting their city from harm, and they know they can trust each other. Voight also has time on his side. As long as Reed has favors to call in, he will keep Voight under his control. He does not want to risk losing the power he has on Voight by firing him and having to find dirt on his replacement. As a result, Voight is relatively safe for the time being. Reed does not believe he will be caught anytime soon, so Voight has time to plan his scheme carefully in Chicago PD.